So in this video, we will come across the module 3, that is the second part. So in the second part of this module 3, you have subsystem design process. Under that, you will learn some general considerations. General considerations are those which deals with digital system design, where it includes so many things involved in that, such as your ALU, control unit, IO unit, memory, and some data paths, right? So what are the general considerations that has to be followed, and the illustration of design process. Whenever you are doing any design, what is the illustration of that? And later you have something called as regularity, then design of ALU subsystems. How is the ALU subsystem design? And you have something called as Manchester carry chain and adder enhancement techniques, right? So in this chapter, it deals with the design of digital system using top-down approach, and the system consideration is a 4-bit microprocessor. So whatever the design you do here, it is a the system consideration is a 4-bit microprocessor. So the microprocessor involves ALU, control unit, IO unit, and memory. So as I told you in the beginning itself, so you will be involved with the design part. So what are the basic components of the microprocessor? So it includes ALU, arithmetic logic unit, and it also needs the control unit. It needs the input and output units. What are the inputs that are needed and what are the outputs that are needed? And memory for storage. So it needs to do the storage of all the things that is needed, right? So here ALU or data path is considered. The data path by itself is further divided into subsystem. Okay. So inside the data path, it is divided as a subsystem, and in this shifter unit is also considered. Now we'll just briefly come to the general consideration, and later we'll go to the illustration part. So what are the main general considerations you can come across here? So the consideration provides ways of handling problems, and it provides the designing and realizing systems which are very complex. So whenever you're designing anything, it will be a complex design. So the complex design has to be split up into simple designs, right? Okay, and these are the some of the general considerations that which you come across. So first one is lower unit cost, then higher reliability, low power dissipation, better performance, enhanced repeatability, and possibility of reduced design and development periods. These are the general considerations which are followed. So lower unit cost means with different approaches available for same requirement, lower unit cost is applicable. So whenever you are doing any design, the cost should be as low as possible. So lower unit cost. If you design anything, whichever the design possible, and it needs the less amount possible, the less cost, whichever is affordable, the cost should be as minimum as possible. Then there should be high reliability. High levels of system integration greatly reduces interconnection, and this in turn provides good reliability. It should be more reliable. And next, there should be low power dissipation, lower weight and lower volume in comparison with other approaches. Then there should be better performance, particularly in terms of speed, power, product. So any design that you do, you should think about mainly the area, the time, the power, and the cost. So as I told you, the cost should be as less as possible. And what about the area? So if it consumes more area, it will not be a good one. So the idea is the area should be as compact as possible, and cost should be less, and timing should also be very less as possible. In minimum time, it should be able to do all the computations possible, minimum time. And power, there should be low power dissipation. In class I had given you the example of the power consumption with the help of low power VLSI design. The power that is taken when you click on the flashlight of your battery. that example I gave you. So you think about that. So there should be low power dissipation, low weight and lower volume. Lower weight should also be there. If the weight is more, it cannot be portable, right? So lower weight should be there, and lower volume in comparison with other approaches. Many when it is compared to different approaches, it should be as less as possible. Next, better performance, particularly in terms of speed power product. So I mentioned you all the things which are needed for the design. So the design will start performing better, like whatever you design, and the outcome of that design should have the best performance compared to every other approaches that are left out. Next, enhanced repeatability. If there are few processes to be controlled in the whole system or very large part to be realized on single chip, this reduces the repeatability, which is appreciable. Repeatability should be enhanced, right? And possibility of reduced design and development periods. These are the general considerations which are considered for any design in VLSI design. And there are few problems which are related with VLSI design. One thing is how to design complex systems in a reasonable time and reasonable effort. Second one is the nature of architecture best suited to take full advantage of VLSI technology. And one more is the testability of large and complex systems once implemented on the silicon chip, right? So there are some problems, and some solution also needs to be formed. So one thing is that a top-down design approach where you can use adequate CAD tools. What are the CAD tools? Some of the CAD tools are computer aided design tools. So in your 7th semester you'll be learning about the Cadence tool, which is a CAD tool. So there are so many other CAD tools like Mentor Graphics and System VLSI. So many things are there where they can implement the designs. Second one is partitioning the system sensibly. So partitioning the system means it has to be partitioned. The big design has to be split up into smaller subsystems. Next, aiming for simple interconnections, then high regularity with subsystem, and generate and then verify each of the section of the design. So these are the some of the things which has to be taken care in doing the design. And one more thing is whenever the architecture is involved, it should allow some of the objectives which is high in realization of that, right? So in the next video we'll look at the illustration of design process. Thank you.